Hello today and welcome to our acoustic guitar tutorial for the song It's Who You Are by Vertical Church. We're going to be playing this song in the key of A. On the recording the song is in the key of B, but I found that that's a little bit high for me to sing, so I've brought it down a couple steps to have it in the key of A. You might notice I am capoed on the second fret, so I'm going to be using G chords. If you wanted to play it in the original key, the key of B, you could move that up to the fourth fret and play that the same G chords there. The song starts off with an instrumental, and it starts off on the E minor chord, and I go ahead and put my pinky and my ring finger down on the bottom two strings here in order to kind of get that little bit better ring out, and then it goes to the C, and then they actually add in a flat into the chording there, so you get that nice chord sound, and then to the G, and then to the D. And I actually play the like a C chording, but I move it up 2 frets to get that D chord there. So they actually, on the album, you're going to be hearing an electric guitar player and an acoustic guitar player playing the same part kind of over top of each other, or a very similar part. There's also a couple other guitar parts going on, and so I've kind of simplified this to be more similar to what it would be if you were a single acoustic guitar player playing with an electric guitar player and you didn't have like 4 or 5 different guitars playing at the same time. So just note that there are some things going on the album that you'll probably be unable to replicate exactly if you're only playing with two guitar players, but you can get pretty close. And so what I would do is at the beginning, I would go ahead and play the picking part with the electric guitar player. And then once you get to the verse, I would go ahead and switch over to more of a strum. And this would be especially true if I were leading the song vocally as well. It would be good to go ahead and switch over to the strumming so that it's easier to sing at that point. So the song starts off and there's a picking pattern, and you can choose to either finger pick this, or you can kind of do a hybrid picking with your guitar pick. So if you start off, it starts off, like I said, on that E minor, and it would sound something like this. So on that last note, the D, I'm actually sliding into that. You don't have to do that, but I like the nice flair that gives to it, so you could just play it. So just switching right over to the D. So at that point, that will bring you into the verse, and the verse is the same chords as the intro, that instrumental, but I would go ahead and switch over and do some light strumming to begin with, and then just kind of remember that you don't want to be all in strumming at the beginning because you want to give some room for dynamic later in the song. So the verse is going to start off like this. Treasure of greatest price, healer, giving me life, faithful again and again, Jesus, your love never ends. So right there, it's going to go to a little interlude that's between the first and the second verse. And for that interlude, you're just going to play the G, D, E minor, and then G, D, E minor, and then C, and then back to the E minor, and you'll go through verse 2 at that point. So that part, if you are not playing with click track, you're kind of have to count that in your head a little bit, because it's just a lot. It's just kind of an airy strum. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then it's right back into the E minor, and you'll go through the second verse. So once you get to the end of the second verse, you're going to hit your first time through the chorus. And that chorus is similar chords to that instrumental between the verse and chorus. It's the G, D, E minor, and then a D, C, and then D and G again. So it's going to sound like this. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you'll always be. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you'll always be. So at that point, you can come back in and go to verse 3. And verse 3 is the same as verse 1 and verse 2, so I'm not going to play through it for you. Same chords, but you can kind of bring your strumming up a little louder. And kind of just make sure that you're pretty deliberate on hitting that downbeat, but you can kind of bring the intensity of that up just a little bit there. And so the last part of the song is really the bridge. And the bridge switches over, starts with the C, and then G, E minor, and D. And so it goes like this. Jesus, Jesus, yesterday, today, forever, you're the same, everlasting, never failing. Today, forever, you're the same. It's who you are. So that right there, you'd go back into the chorus and play it through loud again, but it's the same chords. And so depending on the exact arrangement you're going to do, you would do that once or twice and then go ahead and end the song. But those are all the parts of the song, and really there's nothing complicated about this song at all, other than potentially that intro and just making sure that you are kind of in sync on your arrangement with the other instruments and what they're doing. So thank you for joining us today for this acoustic guitar tutorial for It's Who You Are. If you are interested in any other worship resources, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit us at pursuegod.org/worship.